Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm Tom and I'm here to teach you a bit about improvising. So, what brings you here? Is it a fear of improvising on the guitar? Maybe you don't know what scales to use or what notes to hit? Or you're maybe more experienced and find that your solos might sound correct but a bit pedestrian or a bit boring? Well, you've come to the right place. What I'm going to do is break all the techniques and knowledge I know down for you, and hopefully we'll get you improvising some great sounding solos in no time. So let's get to it. So the first step to improvising is having a scale to use to improvising. So what I've done is prepared an A minor pentatonic scale for you. So if you have a look at the diagram, it should sound like this. 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 8th fret. Okay? So this is a pretty popular shape. Most people probably already have this under the fingers. If you don't have it under the fingers, stop the video and spend 5 minutes just playing through it. Try and get all the notes sounding clean. Okay. So, what we've got is this A minor pentatonic scale, and what we can do is shift it up and down the neck. And doing this, we can find what key the song is that we want to, play our solo over. So I've prepared a little backing track here. Now I know what key it's in, but I'm going to pretend I don't. And I'm going to go through the process of working out what key the backing track is in. So you can do this with whatever song you're improvising over, whether it's an AC/DC song or a Jack Johnson song or whatever. You'll probably find if you play that scale on the 1st fret, doesn't sound right, 2nd fret doesn't sound right, keep going, and eventually when you hit the 12th fret, you've probably found at one point there's a spot where it sounds really good. That's likely the key that you're in. Okay, so let's have a go at doing that with my little backing track here. Okay, so that's definitely not it. Let's try the next one. That sounds alright. Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, not. Okay. No. I think we've got it. Okay, so by just process of elimination, I found out the key of our backing track. Now that you've got that A minor pentatonic shape under your fingers, hopefully, let's have a little bit of an improvise with it. I'm going to give you an example phrase to start with. Let's try this. Let's try 5th fret on the 3rd string. That's C note. Let's go, I don't know, let's go up to that D note. 5, 5, 7, and then let's go 7 on the string above, on that A note. So we have C, C, D, C, C, A. So now that I've got that idea, let's try improvising using that over a backing track. So I'll start with that idea, but then I'll expand upon it a bit. And then it's your turn and I want you to do the same. Okay, let's have a go. Your turn. My turn. During all of my little solos there, I only used these 4 notes and I bent one of them. So 5 notes, only on these 2 strings. And, okay, it wasn't the greatest guitar solo in the world, but it was quite effective considering I only used those 4 notes, 4 or 5 notes. Okay, well now let's look at using the rest of the A minor pentatonic shape when you improvise. So I don't have to use it all in, one lick or one idea. I just want to get you outside of those 4 notes. And we'll also look at messing around with the rhythm a bit, as well as repeating notes. As soon as you play a note, oftentimes beginner guitarists, when they play a note when they're improvised, they think, oh, I can't use that note anymore, I've got to use a different note now. Oh, that one's done. Oh, that one. So they're constantly just chopping from one note to another, but it's actually really cool just to stay on one note for a bit and return to it even. I'll show you what I mean. So see, I really kind of hammered that note. I didn't go... So that sounds really chaotic and, I guess, meaningless. You want your solo to have a bit of meaning and a bit of soul, and doing little things like that can really help you start heading in that direction. Okay, so I'm going to improvise for 4 bars, then you improvise for 4 bars. If you like any of my ideas, try and copy them, and if you don't, stuff you. No, I'm just joking. Try and be creative. Try and do things like use long notes and short notes next to each other. And don't be afraid, just use the one note a few more times rather than just play it and move on. Okay, let's have a go. Okay, cool. So hopefully you found that a bit easier now that you're using the whole shape, and that you were able to really hammer out some of those same notes a few times rather than just playing note and moving on. I did break that rule at one point. I think I did something like this. So that was obviously intentionally a fast little shreddy passage or whatever, just to add a bit of zing to what I was doing. Often guitarists, when they're starting out, their fast notes aren't very fast and their slow notes aren't very slow, so they don't have much range to play with in terms of their rhythm. Whereas a more experienced guitarist can really shred and play fast when they need to, and play really slowly, which is also very difficult, believe it or not. So try and play your slower notes, your longer notes, and stretch them out, make them even longer. You know, maybe let them last a bar, like this. 2 bars. So what I did there, I had some long notes with some really fast little short notes in between, and that created this nice kind of ping-pong kind of pull to it. It was a bit more interesting and soulful than if I just that's pretty boring. So if you want your solos to be boring and monotonous, do that sort of thing. Okay, so next we're going to have a look at how to form a musical sentence with your improvising. So you need a full stop, or a period as you Americans call it, between each sentence to kind of define each phrase. And that makes your solo speak to the listener a lot more effectively that way. I'll give you an example. Full stop. Stop. Full stop. Full stop. So hopefully that would sound more interesting than if I just did this. So that's really not very interesting to listen to, is it? It's just no, with no full stops or rests. For example, imagine if you were reading a book and there were no full stops or anything. That'd be pretty dull. Yeah, so putting a touch of finality in one of the notes, a bit of vibrato maybe, or slide off, kind of announces, okay, that phrase is done. Time for a new phrase now. And really resting, just having a moment of not playing, can really just give the listener a chance to recuperate. So putting rests in between your phrases can really make each phrase have a lot more impact. So what we're going to do is have an improvise now, and I'll do 4 bars and then you do 4 bars, just like before. Really make sure to put some rests in between those phrases. Your turn. Your turn. Fantastic. So hopefully you were able to notice me putting a lot of rests in maybe unusual places, and it creates a bit of a pull for the listener. The listener's like, ooh, what's going on there? That's kind of cool. If you just play lots of notes at them constantly, it's, you know, I love metal and I love shred and all that stuff, but if you do just full intensity notes all the time, people get really kind of overwhelmed and desensitized. Whereas if you get them a bit less and leave them wanting more, then you'll probably come across as a much more mature professional guitar player. So there are some other things we can use in our solos that you might not have thought of yet, like slides, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. So let's have a bit of a go through the backing track again. I'll have 4 bars, you have 4 bars, and we'll both try and apply as many slides, hammer-ons and pull-offs as possible. Don't be afraid of overdoing it. Just get in there and have a go, just to train your fingers to think that way. Good then. Okay, let's talk about bending. So bends are a really unique sound to the guitar, and it's something that every guitarist should really be using a bit of, at least here and there. Especially if you want to sound bluesy and organic and soulful. Now, in that A minor pentatonic shape, that one right there, 7th fret of the G string, that's a really nice note to bend up. 2 frets to the 9th fret. Or the next note of the scale. Also, the other note that's really nice to bend is on the 8th fret of the B string here. And we bend this one up 2 frets as well. So, using those 2 bends, let's have a bit of an improvise and see what sounds you can come up with. Your turn. My turn. Your turn. Well, that wraps up our video. Hopefully you found it interesting and helpful. I'm working on another video which will cover some more elaborate and complicated concepts like arpeggios and chord tones and stuff like that. So be sure to tune into that if you really want to take your improvising to that next level. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Peace out.